Like the new rule on the show, when Zeke came to the Cowboys, he not only could run, not only could catch, he was one of the top 5 blocking backs. Just pay him. This morning, Ezekiel Elliott, best running back in the NFL, has privately said he's planning a training camp holdout. He's got 2 years left on his contract. 2 years left. And he's putting you through this nonsense. Forget the fact that every offseason there's a new judicial issue. Trade him. I would trade Zeke. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Eventually.
Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered.
Day 2.
Ezekiel Elliott is creating organizational tension right before a season. 2 of the last 3 years, one of them a judicial matter, now this one. 2 years out from a new contract.
Several bad puns later.
Johnny Manziel, Jameis Winston are why I ask questions about Baker Mayfield.
Day 3.
But for the last couple days, I've led on the Dallas Cowboys. I've led the show with the Dallas Cowboys, and I've said the same thing. Trade Zeke.
One long, angry line later.
Zeke's numbers last year, by the way, dropped.
Several days later.
Yet this morning, here's the latest on Ezekiel Elliott. You know, he hasn't firmly decided on his contract holdout. He may leave the country.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Zeke is noise, and noise loses in this league.
One pair of pants later.
Are you in Dallas willing to accept Ezekiel Elliott's immaturity?
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
This is why you got to get the quarterback right. Because in season, Zeke feels worth paying the bill. Out of season, he absolutely does not. But the Cowboys, to some degree, are trapped.
The next morning.
I feel the same way about the Dallas Cowboys. Dak, to me, is the land, the stock, the house. He's an accelerating asset. Zeke is a declining, fun asset. I would pay Dak.
Flashback.
But let me just tell you something. This is starting to look like Tim Tebow and the Broncos, folks. There's one way to win for Dallas. It's got to be low scoring, got to be at home. The defense has to be great. You got to make your field goals. This is starting to feel like the Tebow. This is starting to feel like the Tebow Broncos. And I'll tell you the similarities here. By the way, Dak doesn't throw downfield. Dak needs a great running game. Dak has no pocket awareness. Like Tebow, Dak leads the NFL in percentage of dropbacks that he sacked. Tebow led that too. By the way, there's a fumble issue. Tebow had a major fumble issue. He led the NFL in fumbles for a quarterback. Dak leads the NFL in fumbles for a quarterback. That is not a small thing. He doesn't throw many picks because he doesn't throw the ball down the field. Either did Tebow.
End of flashback.
I want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I've been leading with them for a week because, as I've told you, I would trade Ezekiel Elliott for lots of draft picks.
Many unbearable hours later.
I get a sandwich before I go to an airport. So if my flight's delayed, I'm not paying $18 for a chicken sandwich. This is why I eat before I go to games. So I don't pay $27 for average nachos. Tone has changed. Zeke, by the way, is in Cabo. Jerry just said that, and the Cowboys just signed a running back. Oh my, the story has changed, has it not?
298 frozen patties later.
Nice under a tree. The lighting's good. He took it serious. He delivers it. I mean, did you notice just it looked like a well done? That's like Warren Buffett does at Sun Valley every year. It's like, okay, this is going to play all year to the investors on Wall Street. Let's make it look real. This is not Jerry with 30 people and a microphone.
The next day.
You know, you ever work with anybody? Or you ever had a boss? Ever been in somebody in your life and you're like, they're loopy, they're crazy. And then all of a sudden, years later, you're like,
Moments later.
Stephen Jones came out and he talked to the media. Jerry and Stephen have pushed it, moved the argument to Zeke is taking your money.
More moments later.
I got to be honest, that whole Texas twang thing makes everything sound a little softer. Somebody with a Texas twang could walk up to you and say, you're fired, and we love you here, but you just couldn't get the job done, and we love you here in Dallas, but you're not getting the job done. I'm going to have to fire you, and I feel bad for your family and your children, and but we're going to have to let you go. And by the end of it, you're like, yeah, you didn't do a good enough job. You deserve to be fired.
Much later.
Of course, Paw Patrol is the greatest show of all time. If you don't watch Nickelodeon, you don't understand the world is flat. It's complete rubbish. Contract, and they thought Jamal Adams would be good. Did anybody think he would be arguably a top 7-8 player in the league? I honestly believe, I've said this before, he's one of the top 5 to 7 players in the NFL. And he's by far and away the best football player at his so-called position.